should be eligible for.
Can we refer, I'm assuming
You can
that
refer
policy,
to-
maybe we have interscholastic competitive sports teams, and then we have the terminology refer to.
Interscholastic athletic activities should be addressed through NHI participation policy, Article 2, Section 21.
Yeah.
That bolded paragraph under
Because
H.
that
We can just
way-
leave it at that.
Yeah.
Doesn't it push it back to you? Didn't that ultimately push it back to you guys to decide?
What he just read said that NHIA just looks at how the child identifies at the
Right.
school.
If the child identifies at school as female, then the child is eligible for female sports. If the child identifies as male, then the child is eligible for male sports. And that would be consistently held throughout their career in high school.
So we can't flip-flop.
Right, that was, I forget the name of the school, this is one of our local school districts here. A student who had transgendered, I forget which way it was, let's just say from a girl to a boy, could ask to be, even though they identified as transitioning to a male, asked to play on the girls, whatever team it was, and they weren't allowed to do so. They had to stick with the sport which they identified as. And I just go back again, what my job is, as I said earlier about the pronouns and names, is to make sure everybody's not being harassed and being treated nicely. In this case here, I need to know the answer from the board is legally, what am I supposed to say if a student who is transgendering wants to play a sport opposite there? Are we discriminating against if we do that? And if the answer is yes, then we have to follow the law.
SB 263 talks about equal access. So students that are transgender, the law does talk about allowing students to have equal access. So this, I think, would be covered under that. May I suggest under G for physical education classes and intramural sports, we keep that first sentence just the highlighted area as a general rule in any other facility where activities for students may be separated by gender. Transgender students may participate in activities with their gender identity consistently asserted at school. And just leave it as that. And then under H, we would just have interscholastic competitive sports teams. Interscholastic athletic activities should be addressed through the NHI participation policy, Article 2, Section 21, which is what I just read a bit ago. The next section is Section I, dress code. And again, the highlighted area under that is what the Oyster River School District offers as in their policy.
Are you getting rid of the second paragraph and just keeping them highlighted?
Potentially, yeah, whatever you feel needs to come forward.
I think the highlighted paragraph is enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Under J, just put down some notes at the very end of J. Just put complaints alleging discrimination, harassment, or bullying based on a person's actual perceived transgender status or gender nonconformity are to be handled in the same manner as other discrimination, harassment, or bullying complaints, period. And then I said refer to policy AC, JBAA, and or JICK, which are the policies for all of those different. In the last part, on page 7, this is something again that was in the policy of Oyster River, staff training. And, this gives the gives us a little bit of latitude to institute some training for staff if we feel there is a need for training. And obviously supporting our teachers and staff. They need that support when they're working with transgender students.
Does that administration lens fit the needs that you guys have?
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely, myself personally, I'd like to learn more about the whole interscholastic thing, that area. I would like to be more educated on as far as that goes.
Anything else in that policy?
I did have one last question. I'm just confusion on how things will work. Let's say policy for under purpose, section 1.
Okay.
You have in there, I'm going to try to be brief because that will work. But so number 1 in the list that you have, it says
At the bottom,
student at
the
the
first
bottom.
page.
Yeah. So that was not the old one, but it's kind of conflicting in regards to at one point you say that the student will meet with the building administrator, but then I believe that's in number 2. Correct me again, I'm trying to go fast. I believe it says that in 1 and 2, but then if there's any discrepancies, you actually in number 4 you revert back to the building administrator. So I think that's kind of unless I'm reading it incorrectly, it seems to be that we'll go to the building administrator, and then when there's a problem, we'll ask the building administrator. Just kind of. So I think that
I'm not following.
it's conflicting. It's okay. So in number 2,
Oh, I see.
it says a meeting should be scheduled to discuss the student's particular circumstances and needs, in
Yep.
addition to the student, parent, guardian, and building administrator. So and would suggest that the building administrator will be there. But then if you go back to then if you go down to number 4. If the parties cannot reach an agreement about the elements to be included in the plan, the building administrator and or the superintendent shall be consulted. So why would we put the building administrator in number 4 if they have to be involved in number 2?
I see.
That's what I'm confused on.
Right.
So take out the
So
building
maybe building
administrator,
administrator, and it should,
Just be superintendent.
superintendent.
as the, thank you.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, I guess it'll work, so. If you don't
Does
stop
anybody
asking
else have
questions,
anything?
we'll stop asking you. Appreciate it.
Croc TV.